now that we're an hour into this episode about Dark Souls 3, you can leave if you'd like, if you're done with the boss ranking, but we're going to talk a bit about some of these areas. I have some juicy questions for Chris. I have a little bit of fan input even. Oh my gosh.
Hello, I was not expecting that.
That's right, man. Our fans are many, and they are loud, so get ready for this. But we start. I don't know. Do we want to talk about the areas first, or do we just want to do like a big 1,000 feet up?
Yeah, let's do that.
How the heck does this? Yeah, let's do that. Like, let's talk about the game
too much
overall.
In the weeds.
I'm with you.
You lead, cowboy.
Is this game the best of the 3 Dark Souls games? Or is it the middleist? Or is it the worst?
That's a hard one. I mean, 2 is obviously the worst.
And I like 2.
3 I think is too easy. But it has like the most fleshed out. It has a very... The thing with 3 is that it's a very... for me, at least, a very direct story. It's very story-driven. It's very point A to point B. Dark Souls 1 probably has the best lore, in my mind. And it has the most fleshed out world. It's all one cohesive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk about 2. 2 is just too bloated. 3 is too short.
Yeah.
1 might be the best one.
I think 1 is the best one.
Yeah.
For me, I know you don't agree. For me, I like Dark Souls 2's lore the most.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like Vendrick and his story, and I like that it's about,
a great
like,
story.
You know, I like the story a lot, but the combat is painful, I think, personally. It just doesn't feel as good in 2. I think that it just doesn't feel as good in 2. But I think it has my favorite lore, or at least story, because the story isn't technically the same as lore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Dark Souls 3 feels the best to play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it definitely has the best feeling combat. And from a gameplay standpoint, even in regards to, like, weapon variety and stuff, it's probably the best one.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, I think that 3 really suffers on repeat playthroughs because of how linear it is. Like, how linear it feels.
I counter that. Because when I played this game, when I first beat Dark Souls 3, I did 3 consecutive playthroughs right after it.
Mm-hmm.
In, like, very quick succession. So for me, I liked how short it was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I still like how short it is.
Yeah.
And I just got into this rhythm of just like, I want to experience this boss again. I want to defeat Walner and then see the Irithyll of the Boreal Valley or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Arlando. I want to kill Gale again. You know, I want to fight Sister Frida. But man, yeah, I mean, in hindsight though, yeah, it is just way too short, and I never felt like I wanted to challenge myself with my playthrough. I never did anything different. It was more of a comfort, you know.
Interesting. Yeah.
Very similar to Resident Evil 4 for me. Just like comfort food.
I wonder if like the order in which you play them affects how you feel in that way. Because I don't mind that it's short. And when I say it's too linear, I think what I mean is it feels like Dark Souls 2 in that you just go down these paths and they just kind of end, you know? Which happens in every game, obviously. Yeah. But in this game, kind of like I did in Dark Souls 2, I really feel like I go like down a corridor and a corridor and a corridor and a corridor. And it's not like a game is bad if it's not like Dark Souls 1, but there was just this magical quality of like being in a real place, you know?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I know it's so tired. Like it's just one of those arguments that's been made 1,000 times, but I really felt it when I played this game. Like I was disappointed by it many, many times because I wanted it to be like a cohesive world. And it is visually, like you can see the cathedral from,
Sure.
Vort's boss room, but that doesn't,
Yeah.
it's not connected in the same way.
It's
And
not
so
like
I
Dark
feel
Souls
like-
1 where you can find shortcuts to completely different areas because it's all
Yeah.
stacked on top of itself.
Yeah.
And
I
I
don't
feel you.
And I don't think that warp is the problem. You know what I mean? Because I feel like even if there was no warp, there wouldn't have been the same type of world to explore anyway. You know what I mean? Like in
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1, they couldn't have warp. And I understand now. I stand corrected, okay?
Yeah.
Like maybe they could have had warp and it could have cost something, and I still stand by that. But the world was connected enough that you didn't need to warp, right? Like there were shortcuts everywhere. It would only take like a minute to get anywhere on the map just because the shortcuts worked. In this game, like half the shortcuts don't even work. Like they're not even shorter than just walking. Like the shortcut
Or just
to warp,
warping.
or just warping. Like, so it's like
My
they didn't-
favorite. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go.
My favorite is that the two bonfires on Dragon Slayer armor right next to each other. Like, what's the point?
Like, why do that? Oh my gosh. And like, I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they knew they had warp, so when they made the game, they didn't worry about interconnectedness.
I feel that.
And I think
Sure.
it's the same thing that happened in Dark Souls 2, where they're like, you know what, we'll just let them warp from the beginning, so we don't need to make the world cohesive that way.
Yeah.
And I think it
'Cause, like-
really, really hurts
Yeah.
the experience. For me personally.
Oh, for
You know?
sure. And just the fact that the Firelink Shrine, which happens to be the Firelink Shrine from the first game, actually. Like where you have the bonfire with the maiden or whatever she's called, that's the vessel underneath Firelink, which I think is really cool. But you warp from there to your first actual location, and it's just weird. It's like, why am I warping and why am I not walking? Why am I not making the trek up the giant mountain?
I know.
It's very off-putting. Because then
I
it
was-
starts getting connected. But it's not even connected to the first part of the game. Like 10 minutes in.
I was pretty disappointed. Like my first experience with the game was just disappointment because like, oh, this is just here, it's separate, and also it's really confusing because why would I think that I need to warp? I just walked around for like an hour around Firelink Shrine looking for where to go because I didn't know you
Looking
just
for
warped.
a door or a fog gate, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty confusing. So yeah, I think that's my main problem with the game because it feels great. I don't think it's too short. I think it's got a good number of bosses. Although I
25
do
is a strong
feel
number.
that the areas tend towards generic. Like, and that doesn't mean I don't like them. They just don't feel as unique. Which I think maybe is just how it works when you've made 3 games. But I don't know, and it's not because it's not because it's referential. Like I don't mind Anor Londo, you know, I think it's great. It's more like Lothric Castle is another castle, you know, and Irithal's really cool, but it also is kind of just like the Ice City for the DLC of 2, and like
the DLC,
you know what I mean?
The Painted World is so short.
Mercifully, okay, it's mercifully short.
But you just run through the snow until you find a town.
What is the deal with the beginning of this DLC? What is the deal with the areas for either of the DLCs? They are so painful. Like they're cool.
The first one, yeah, no.
They look nice. But man, did I just want them to be over so I could just fight the bosses. I don't know. Oh.
Yeah, you're right. The areas have a good cinematic essence to them when you first get to them. Like walking out of the graves and you see that first vista. Spectacular. Doesn't go anywhere. You you warp to Lothric or the High Wall. Spectacular. And then you kind of just go through little dungeons. It doesn't really add up to much. And I think that just happens over and over again. Like Irithyll, first vista. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Hey, is that Orlando in the background? And then you get into the streets and you're like, it's kind of like a snow town with these weird ghosts that look like the aliens that were making the clones in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, and I like the dredge heap at first, but then it's like, ugh.
It's just muddy.
It's cool that you see areas from Dark Souls 1 and 2 throughout. Mm-hmm. You even see the ladder dude before
he's dead.
Yorm. He's dead.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, let's talk about that really quick. Like, what are your favorite references? Did you like the references? I'm trying to think about where I put this.
Most of the references I liked. I don't know if they dealt with references from the other games, really. Like, the ladder dude being dead is funny.
Because of, yeah.
I don't remember there being a Solaire thing, and I love Solaire.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising, huh? Well, I guess you find a sword,
the canon, like, he's dead. Technically, but so shouldn't Sigurd be dead?
Is he the same guy?
I'm pretty sure, right?
I thought he was just another knight from Katarina.
Or is it Sigmar?
Oh, it's Sigmar in the first one, and this one's Sigurd.
Sigurd, yeah, okay.
So it's probably like his descendant or whatever.
His like brother or something, yeah. I don't know.
I think my favorite callback was probably Gwendolyn's body being used by Aldrich.
That is pretty funny.
Oh, and one more.
What?
In Anne Orlando, I thought it was really funny that they put a bonfire at the bottom of those stairs.
Just like, in the...
Well, the thing is, there's no bonfire there in Dark Souls 1.
Oh.
And it feels like there should be one, and there's always messages that are like, bonfire ? Bonfire ? And then this game, they just like throw bonfires at you constantly. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty funny. I was like, of course there's a bonfire here at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there was some. I don't think I have them in my notes. No, I don't think so. Oh, there's the giant archer that is like similar to Go from...
Oh, yeah. In the Undead Settlement, right?
Yeah. So I like that. That was kind of cool. And I'm pretty sure he says the same thing as the giant from on Orlando, the blacksmith. He's like, I help anytime, or something like that.
Anytime. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But other than that, I can't really think of much.
Well, kind of in tandem with that. This kind of goes with that. You were talking about the Undead Settlement. And I feel like the Undead Settlement easily could have been like leftover assets from like Bloodborne. You know what I mean? It looks very much like where the Witches of Emwick are.
And
yeah, and like the enemies look super Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not always a bad thing. I think it's interesting as a change of scenery. But if you could have one thing recycled from a previous game that wasn't, what would it have been? Could be a mechanic, an area, a theme, a look. What's something you wish had made a comeback?
Oh, I mean, besides Solaire.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things. A lot of things from Dark Souls 1. And I think, like we just talked about with the levels being so cool. And so they have so much character and story behind them. I was just thinking about what are some places that I really like from Dark Souls 1. I'm just thinking about the bottom of like the tree where you find that ancient dragon, and it's just like sand and water. Such a cool area. And then like old Orlando, like the other side of Orlando that you play in, is so cool. Sin's Fortress is so memorable.
Yeah. It's so good. What a wild time.
And just even the first, like, after the first Firelink Shrine, going up towards the castle areas or whatever it is. I forgot what it's called. I don't know, just that. I don't know what it is.
There's something special there.
I don't know. I really don't know. There's a lot of things. What about you?
I'm with you. I mean, definitely like interconnected world. Like that's a given, I think.
For sure.
Because I think that's something that pretty much universally everyone prefers. You know, is the world design from Dark Souls 1.
Mm-hmm.
But man, honestly, I know that I think most people don't agree with this, but I would just want to like go back and re-experience like entire areas, but like reinterpret it a little bit. Like, I would have been happy if Dark Souls 3 occurred in literally the same place as Dark Souls 1, like entirely.
But just a different time.
Yeah, and it was like partially destroyed, so there's like different routes to go through. But like, I'd love to see, you know, like what if Blighttown like started to flourish? You know what I mean? So like really it's cool. Like a beautiful garden or something. Or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it would have been really cool to see all the areas in a new light, because I feel like they almost don't go far enough sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Firelink Shrine is called Firelink Shrine, and I get that the Lord Vessel's there, but it's like, is it really Firelink Shrine? You know? Like, does it really have anything in common with it other than the name? And
I want that fat cat from the gardens.
Yeah, boy. I want the cat, man. I just, you know, yeah, like, and I'd love to have found, like, Majula or something. So, I just think it would have been cool to, like, really revisit areas, and I wish they'd gone more into that in, like, the Dreg Heap. It almost feels, also, I feel this, I feel like the Dreg Heap and Gale, that was, like, the actual ending for the game that they meant for the entire time.
Oh, for sure. They had the DLCs planned way in advance.
Yeah, and so it's kind of odd that you end it normally with the Soul of Cinder, but it really feels like the actual ending for this game and the actual point for this game was like the time dilation, right? Where like everything's coming together at once. And I feel like that's probably what they should have really gone with.
They should have... I would have been fine if they got rid of the Soul of Cinder. But it makes sense because he's the Lord of Cinder, and Gale isn't a Lord of Cinder, so it's a completely separate thing. So that makes sense.
Exactly. Like, so it's okay, you know? I
like that they brought... Oh.
No, you go. I was just having an existential crisis.
I was really happy that there was a painted world in this, and that you find out that she is the painter, and she has painted all these paintings, and they lead to other worlds. I think a popular theory was that she is painting Bloodborne with the Dark Soul pigment.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
But like, there's no weight to it at all. FromSoft is never going to say anything
to any lore in any of these games.
Yeah, they're just happy that we make stuff up for them.
Honestly, dude, they probably have no story at all, and they just like lit us right in. I wanted to ask for your Dark Souls hot take. I have a couple of them. The first one would be this. I wish that they didn't have the DLCs, that Dark Souls 3 just ended, and that there was a Dark Souls 4 that was the story of Gale. You know what I mean? Because it's like, even though it seems like it's not really part of like the Linking to Fire story, I think it like really is. You know, it's like that idea of, what's the word? Like entropy. You know, like everything is coming apart constantly, and the Linking to Fire brings it all together. And Gale could link the fire. You know, he's obviously strong enough. He's accumulated the souls, but he chooses, you know, a different fate for man. And I think that's really cool. And I feel like that's really the true ending of Dark Souls, is that all of these worlds and all these times like collide. And at the end of the world, when there's nothing left, it's just people with power, and they choose what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I almost wish that there was a fourth Dark Souls, and they really fleshed out that idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I see why people would disagree with that, you know?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. There's so many things. It's so hard to think about it, having the DLCs. And having the Lord of Cinder being the last boss would kind of feel just lackluster. Because it is. I mean, it would be cool if you did a whole thing about Gale and the Ringed City. It's hard to figure out like what the Ringed City has to really do with him.
Yeah. I don't really know.
You know?
What does it have to do? I guess that's where Filianor is, but...
Yeah.
But, like, that's literally it. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
We have to wait for the Brothers Code to make their video so we can
That's
finally
right.
figure it out.
Please, tell us. Tell us what to think.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the whole Filianor thing. I love like one of my favorite tropes in video games or storytelling is the end of everything and seeing what that's like. And I think this game portrays that beautifully. And just like everything that Gwen has ever done, she too was an illusion. Or everything that she was holding onto was an illusion. So that's really cool.
I like that.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that's the beauty of it, that at the end of everything, it's just you and this other you that's making a different choice. It's not as powerful to me as the Gehrman and Hunter storyline in Bloodborne. But yeah, he's just really cool. The idea that they call him like the Red Hood or whatever, and he hunts down these pilgrims and eats their souls. And he's just mad with the Abyss, right? Or whatever, the Dark Soul, pretty much.
Yeah. He's just gone crazy.
But maybe I think that might be best in a truncated DLC.
I understand.
I mean, we're not Miyazaki.
This is true. We are not
I'm
Miyazaki.
sure if they held off for the DLC and maybe they just teased it with the Painted World, and then they made Dark Souls 4 or whatever, and it was this whole thing with Gale. Maybe. But, like, how do you... I mean, never mind.
I just like Gale. So
yeah. And I understand, like, it would be cool if they fleshed out the idea of the Dredge Heap, where you see things from Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and it's all interconnected and weird and warped. You could even do fun things with the bosses and the enemies being warped with each other.
Ooh. So that's what I want.
Like, if you got Nameless King with Ornstein combined, you know? Like, something disgusting where they're like a
Dragon
two-headed
Slayer
creature.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like that.
I think, I don't know. It's hard because Bloodborne is so good. So I think about Bloodborne, and that is almost what you want. Something twisted, something dark, something unruly and unhinged.
Unruly and unhinged.
Something cosmic, you know.
Hello. I like that. And speaking of making another FromSoft game, I had a question for you. I was inspired. There's these tropes that happen in pretty much every Dark Souls game, right? One of those tropes is that there's like a mini boss that's usually really hard that you have to come back for at the beginning of each game. You know, in Yharnam, there's the big cleaver guy. In this, there's like the crystal lizards. In Dark Souls 1, there's the catacombs in general. You know what I mean? There's usually something difficult that you have to come back for later, and it's kind of teased to you. And I think that these tropes in FromSoft games kind of give you a framework for how to make a Dark Souls-esque game, right?
Sure.
So imagine this.
Okay.
I want you to tell me your design for an early game mini-boss, but the FromSoft game is set in modern-day Chico, California. And the goal is to defeat the god of winter in Rexburg.
That's that's
you got to make
plot.
your way from Rayleigh's in Chico to Rexburg.
So it's an early on thing.
Oh yes, the early mini-boss.
The early mini boss that you can't kill until later on.
Unless you're just so
you can
skilled.
kill him, but he's just horribly hard and will kill you in one hit.
Yes.
I think
I've got a couple ideas if you want inspiration.
no. Easily, it's Bushwhacker.
Yeah, I was like the Bushwhacker,
Easily.
man.
Any homeless person in Chico.
That's amazing.
Design. I mean, it'd be like the Sekiro monkey throwing poop and stuff. That's easy. Or not even pooping, just like expelling its pores for like a horrible stench that you can't like be around.
Like a poison cloud almost.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
a paralysis cloud.
Hello.
You'll be paralyzed if you go near it.
That's fabulous, Chris.
Or it's the death or whatever from Dark Souls 2 at the end.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Your health just lowers.
It just, you die.
That's awesome.
Weapon. I think you got to go with I think it'd be funny if, because it's happened, they stole a stop sign.
Of course they did.
So,
they just smacked you with the stop sign.
This very frail, bald, disgusting man with a giant stop sign.
Oh my gosh.
Be great.
I love that. I feel like I'm with you. I literally wrote, I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, it's backwards, but it says the Bushwhacker, obviously. So, but an alternative boss that kind of goes with that, it's inspired by our experience in Utah, would be like a stray dog that comes out of a bush and it kind of morphs into a bigger dog. But its name would be Bernald, Remnant of the Defiled Gods. Just like some ridiculous name for this like dog that comes out of a bush.
Yeah.
It'd be wonderful. Come out of the Rayleigh's parking lot. Horrible music starts, and the dog just starts, destroying you. It'd be a good time. But I think Bushwhacker's obviously the guy.
Mm-hmm. Robert.
Would he have a more ridiculous name, or would it just be Bushwhacker?
Robert, Lord of Bush.
Oh, no.
Or Whacker of Bush.
Whacker of Bush. There you go. That's the right name. That's beautiful, Chris.
I mean, you could easily go Robert the Defiled.
Oh, there we go.
The decrepit,
Or Defiler of Man.
There we go.
Robert, Defiler of Man.
Stain on Earth.
Stain on Earth. Wow. I feel like it would be really fun to have like a wacky modern FromSoft game.
That would be funny.
Like it's in your head. So you see things as like being like Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
But really it's just like normal.
Yeah.
There's pigs with like hats on, but they're actually just police.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be like horrifying.
Every firefighter is Mark Wahlberg.
Oh no. That'd be the final boss. Lord of Fire.
There you
Wahlberg. Oh my gosh. Well, man, I mean, there's so much to talk about here. I put all these dumb notes out. But honestly, I think we're at a good place. Just tell me your favorite area and your least favorite, and I think we'll probably end up just leaving it there. And any other, big thoughts you wanted to share.
Favorite area? Honestly, probably Undead Settlement.
Interesting. I'm glad you like it, man.
Yeah. I think for some reason that's the most visually striking, and it looks so cool. You got the Great Wood there.
Uh-huh.
You got the cleric witches, the pyromancers or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, something about it is just very striking.
Yeah,
Least
I'm
favorite
glad you like
area?
it.
Probably the Lothric Castle.
Yeah. It doesn't stick with me. It doesn't stick with me at all. It's kind of sad. It really reminded me of Boletaria, but like just a lot worse than Boletaria.
Yeah.
You know what I
Boletaria
mean?
is so cool.
Oh, Boletaria is awesome. I think Demon Souls really got the level-based interconnectedness right. Or at least it got it better than Dark Souls 3.
You know what they could do for Dark Souls 4? I know this is off topic, but
Oh, yeah.
make it like Mario 64, where you have all these painted worlds in this hub, and you jump through the painted worlds.
Oh, baby. That'd be really cool.
That would be really
actually.
cool with like the SSD. Like if you find a painting in the world. You can just walk through it and you're in a different place.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
They need to work with Nintendo.
Yeah. Or PlayStation.
A Mario Souls-like.
We already have that. It's Odyssey.
Oh, that's true.
What was your favorite and least favorite area?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, my two favorites probably... Well, there's one thing I really liked about the Grand Archives. I'm not sure I loved the area itself super a lot. It was cool. But I really liked the way the Sage worked because I thought it was creative. It was like a progressive...
leading you on, right?
Yeah, and it was like a progressive shortcut because, for example, if you did enough damage to her on the first floor, she'd go to the second. And if you did damage there, she'd go to the third. It should even go to a fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, once you got her to go to another floor or to move on from where you were, it made it easier for the first part and you could just run up. And so I thought it was like a really creative way to make a shortcut that wasn't so obvious. Like, I think one of the things that was a bummer in Dark Souls 3 was that there were just so many like locked doors and elevators, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was never a moment where I was surprised by a shortcut ever.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like you walk by and like, oh, there's the elevator. I guess I got to go a bit further and then I'll find the elevator, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or same thing with a locked door. But I thought this was a creative way they did it, where instead of just giving you an elevator, which they do twice in the same level in the Grand Archives, they kind of make it so that the Crystal Sage doesn't hit you as much, so you can, you know, do it more easily. So I thought that was really cool. But I really like the Untended Graves, just because I like Gundyr and it's cool to revisit somewhere. But I think my actual favorite was Irithyll Dungeon. I just love dungeons in these games. I don't know why.
It is a good dungeon.
It's a good one. And I think the jailers, they're cool. There's a big enemy in there for you. And I don't know, people hate the jailers. I thought they were fun because like they make you play differently, you know?
Yeah.
And it felt good to kill them. So
I gotta say, I'm surprised you haven't brought it up yet. One of the best enemies, though. Those crabs. I love the crabs, bro.
You want to see this question I wrote?
Sure.
You can't read. It says, least favorite enemy. I hate the crabs.
I love the crabs, dude. They
Dude,
scuttle
I
towards
hate
you
them.
sideways.
How do you fight
They
them?
wreck
You
you.
just lay down and die.
Oh, yeah, you don't kill him. He's just funny.
Dude, they're impossible. They're
Yeah.
like harder than any boss. And that was actually another question I had for you. You know the Irithyll Knights? Like the glowy blue frostbite dudes?
Oh, yeah.
Like you find one in Lothric when you go down by the dragons?
Yeah, they're the version of the Titanite beast.
Yes.
They're like this game's version, yeah.
And they are the single hardest enemy in the entire game. Harder than any boss. Harder than anything.
What?
There's nothing you can do.
You're weak.
There's nothing. I'm
You
telling you,
kill 'em.
man.
Just kill him.
You kill
The only
them.
one that sucks is in the archives where you're just in like a hallway and it spawns behind you. That one sucks.
It's horrible. But I want you to tell me what's the enemy that either gave you the most trouble or that was like that. Like the dumb part of a game that's harder than any boss.
In Dark Souls
Might be.
3?
Yeah.
It might be the crabs.
The crabs. That run up and dredge.
No.
heap.
It was those dumb angels in the dredge heap.
Oh my gosh.
Those are the worst things ever.
They're
Those shouldn't be in the
ridiculous.
game.
They're horrible. How did they make it in?
I don't know.
They make me sick.
They're not fun. They're not cool. They make no sense. Like, are they the moonlight butterfly thing, or
I don't know. Are they like
I
those
don't even
moths?
I don't even
from
get
earlier?
a good look at them.
You can't, because you're dying. The you
Yeah, you're
died
dying.
covers them. I feel like if you're sprinting, you shouldn't be able to be hit by them.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it
you
should
still-
be about
you still
stamina
will.
management. But it seems like a crapshoot. Like, you just get hit. Like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Mhm. Do you feel represented with the pyromancer from Dark Souls 2 being there?
Yes. I did like seeing Earthen Peak, you know, the windmill. But I don't know why they chose just the worst area for like the one callback to Dark Souls 2. I thought that was kind of sad, but it's okay. I would have liked to see like an area I liked, but whatever.
Very odd.
Yeah, like how did they make that choice? Wow, I see how it is. I don't know, but it was okay. Could have been a lot worse.
Done a lot of cool things with Majula and
I like Hyde's Tower. I think that's a cool looking area.
The Dragon Peak area with the ladders, or not the ladders, the bridges or whatever.
Yeah, I think that area is cool.
The whole I really liked the place where the dude was doing all the experiments with the dragons.
Oh, Aldia's Keep?
Yeah.
That place is cool too. I would have liked to see that, and like really dilapidated, like ruins. Mm-hmm. But no, we got Earthen Peak for some reason. Probably the most hated area in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Would have been cool to visit the places with the DLC. Like, I feel like, come on, Broom Tower. It would have been really cool to go back to the, what's it called? The city that's sunken. I don't freaking remember. Where Sin is. Whatever. But in conjunction with that, Chris, what is the dumb mini-boss in your real life that is harder than any of the things that are actually supposed to be hard? I'll give you an example here.
Like taxes?
No. Even smaller. Think smaller. Like a dumb thing. For me, it's getting my printer to work. I do hard things all the time. All right? I did construction in like negative 22 degrees. Not a problem. I go to school and I read like 100 pages a day. It's okay. I suffer for it and it's okay. But man, trying to make my stupid printer work, it's like eating bullets. It is the worst thing I've ever had to do. I don't know how do they sell printers knowing they work this badly? Like, why do we keep buying them? They're horrible. I can never get it to work. So for me, that's my mini boss that I just cannot overcome.
Our dryer sucks.
That's the worst.
It has I don't know why they do this. It's a terrible idea. But it has a sensor to see how dry things are, right? Mm-hmm. So when things are too dry, it stops. It's like, hey, your clothes are done. But it's not taking into account the clothes in the middle that are still wet.
Yeah.
So the first week here in the new place, drying clothes, and our stupid dryer has like a little jingle that goes on for like a year.
Yes.
And I'll start the dryer and I'll walk away, and 10 minutes later I hear the jingle. And I'm like, what's going on? And I keep going back and forth, and it sucked.
Dude, that is so funny.
And right now, getting my dog to pee sucks.
Oh, is Sam being a bad boy?
Sam doesn't feel comfortable here. And he doesn't like grass. What? And he's... Yeah, no bueno.
Dude, dogs are funny about that.
Yeah.
My Grace's old dog, Jack, he used to refuse to poop if you were looking at him. He would only go to the bathroom if your back was turned to him. He was very private about it. Mm-hmm. Dude, dogs are so funny.
Yeah, they are.
Well, man, let me glance over these, see if there's... Oh, I wanted to talk about... This is the last thing we're going to do. All right?
Okay.
One of our very good friends, patron of the channel, Medina, he sent in a little write-in talking about his experience with Dark Souls 3.
Sir John.
Dear John. That's right. He just started playing it. The first Souls game he's ever played. He said that he got to Gundyr, bashed his head against him for a while, finally beat him, had 10,000 souls in his pocket. Mm-hmm. And he had no idea where to go. You know what I mean? He's just wandering around. He tries to fight the samurai guy, dies. It's horrible. Gets his souls back. And then finally he wanders into Firelink Shrine. And when he sees the maiden, there's bloodstains all around her. And so he thinks she's an enemy. So he just murders the maiden. And then he goes and he kills everyone else in Firelink.
Oh my gosh.
And it worked out. FromSoft was kind to him and they let him have a restart. But not a restart, but they resurrect. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know from you, what is your favorite memory of when you did something wrong or when something bad happened to you in one of the Dark Souls games when you first started? Does that make sense?
Yes. Why don't you go first? I'll think of mine.
I'll gladly go first. I had an experience that I think a lot of people did in Dark Souls 1. And it was when I was like low. Like I was wherever you encounter the thingies. What are they called? The frog eye boys?
Yeah.
What are they called? It doesn't matter. Anyway, I was like deep in the depths and they cursed me. And in Dark Souls 1, when you get cursed, you lose half your health.
Mm-hmm.
Forever. Unless you get a purging stone. And there's no warp, right? And earlier I had lit out what's his name? Lotriek or something? The gold guy.
Yeah.
So it was horrible. Yeah, the killer. So I'm in the depths. I'm a little further in the game than I should be. Like I've killed the gaping dragon. I'm just going around. Anyways, so I get cursed for the first time. I'm like, oh no, I'm stuck down here. I Google it, like, how do I uncurse myself? Like, it won't go away. I have to buy a purging stone. Okay. Well, I'll work my way up. And so I go through, you know, I'm suffering. It's like a long path, and I finally get back to Firelink. And the bonfire doesn't work, because Lautrec killed the Firekeeper.
So
and I'm like,
warp. Oh my god.
I can't warp, and I don't get Estus from it. And there's not a bonfire anywhere near there, because it's the beginning of the game.
Dude,
so,
I hate that.
And then anyways, then I go to get the purging stone. I'm like, whatever, I'll just get the purging stone. Thing costs like 20,000 souls. Okay. So then I like, you know, then I have to go to Undeadburg and like try to get souls. And anyway, eventually I got it and made everything better again. But it was just such a funny like domino effect of horrible things happening to me. But it was so memorable. You know what I mean? And that's one of the great things about the Souls games. They'll do stuff like that to you. So yeah. What about you?
Well, for me, I pulled a John and I killed everyone.
By accident?
No, on purpose. Because I wanted their stuff. You know, because I playing it like Skyrim or something, where like I found Sigmire and I wanted to kill him to get that cool onion armor and his giant lance or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I messed up by killing the blacksmith.
Oh. And in Dark Souls 1, they don't come back.
Yeah. I didn't kill anybody in the Firelink Shrine. But outside of the Firelink Shrine, yeah, I killed him. Ruined everything. Murderer, man. And I think that was actually the moment where I didn't play Souls games until Neo.
Oh,
when I really got into it.
That makes sense. Wow. Well, what a journey.
I don't do things wrong in games.
I'm kind of perfect. What's my name?
I don't make these mistakes.
I'm so proud of it. That's why I'm so grateful to be your friend.
Yeah.
You raised me up, Chris.
That's right.
But man, that's the last question I wanted to ask you. I want to leave it there. I think that's good. I think we've covered this in depth. I feel really happy with what we talked about today.
Me too. We accomplished a lot.
Do you have any closing comments? Anything you want to say that wasn't said?
Play Bloodborne.
Wow. I didn't know we were going to end with a personal attack. I'm with you, brother. I'm doing it.
It's going to be very fascinating when we finish all these games and we finally like do a ranking and see where we all like stand on it. And I think we all know what the bottom is, but who's number one, you know?
Honestly, let's say where we're at right now.
Okay.
Just considering Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1 through 3, and Demon Souls, how do they rank for you? That's a good way to end the episode.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, Dark Souls 2 is on the bottom.
Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah. Hands down.
You know the amount of people lying to themselves on Twitter about that, by the way?
Oh, like everyone's saying Dark Souls 2 is so great?
And I like Dark Souls 2, okay?
Yeah, they're all liars.
It's not that good, guys. Like, we have to see reality here.
It's so
not a very
bloated.
Good game.
Oh
it's
my
too
gosh.
big. There's so much bad stuff in it. It's got
47
good parts,
bosses in Dark Souls 2.
It doesn't matter, like, how good the drink mix is. If it's in a gallon jug, it's not going to be good. All right?
Yeah.
It needs to be in, like, a 16-ounce bottle. All right? It's just too big. It's too diluted. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Probably... It's really tough, man.
I know.
Dark Souls 2. I guess Dark Souls 3. Demon Souls. No. Sekiro, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. I think.
And then Dark Souls 1 at the top?
I need to play Sekiro again. Oh, Dark Souls 1. I forgot about Dark Souls 1. Darn it. What's yours?
You know, I have a feeling that when I play Bloodborne again, I'm going to have the same problems with it that I have with 3. But it was my first one, so I'm not... It's really hard to, like, rank it, you know? Because it's been, like, a year and a half since I played it.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, going bottom up, it would probably be Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, and then Dark Souls 1. But I really love Demon Souls. However...
Demon Souls is so good.
Like, it's so good, but also so much of it has to do with just how good looking it is.
That's the thing, yeah. The PS5 and the SSD and how quick it is. Like, the loading screens aren't killing you.
It's amazing.
There's more character in it because of how few bosses there are.
Mm-hmm. It feels more personal in, like, a weird way, you know? Like, it's so much easier to talk about because it's like a bite size.
Oh, it has a beautiful photo mode that's in no Dark Souls or FromSoft game.
What's the deal? How have they not included a photo mode? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Although I will say a little sneak peek here. Elden Ring is really quite good. It's a good game. And it's definitely going to upset
the list,
the ranking in many ways. But it's also very different. It's interesting. I can't wait for you to play it because I want to talk about it.
Yeah. Sekiro is going to be a weird one for you.
It's
going to be a weird one for me. Because... I don't know. It's like, it's a great... I think it's a near perfect gameplay-wise game. But that memory of how grueling it was to get that platinum is like, ugh. I don't want to play it again.
Yeah.
No. I got really good at that game, but... Yeah, I'll need like an entire day with paper and pen to actually think about this.
That makes sense.
But feeling right now, Dark Souls 3 is near the bottom. Which is really weird. Which isn't a bad thing because the Souls games are all, you know, A tier games or B plus tier games.
Yeah, like being the best of a series of fabulous games or the worst of a series of really good games is not bad. I mean, I think Dark Souls 2 is not even a bad game. You know, I think it's a good game.
It's a good game.
So, yeah. What an interesting topic, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's the show. That was Dark Souls 3.
Wow.
We're so grateful to have played it. And we're even more grateful to our amazing patrons. To John, to Emmett, to Cody. We thank you guys for being so faithful to us. And we invite everyone else who has stuck around this long. If you liked the video, if you liked the boss ring, if you liked any part of it, you know, go to patreon.com/Futon Talks. Maybe give us a little on the side. You know, if you want more content like this, all the money that goes into that goes into a mysterious Patreon wallet, which we may not have figured out. But that money will make the show better and it will contribute to equipment and to us being able to cover more things. So, yeah, we love you guys. We hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Futon Talks.
Bye-bye. Oh, wait.
What?
Before we close out.
Never mind. It's not over.
It's not over yet.
Don't click away.
I have to say this because it was a running theme. But my favorite quote. There's actually a quote I love in this game that I cannot forget to say. Where are you?
Where are you?
This is from Ludlith in the Firelink Shrine.
Ooh.
It's one of my favorite quotes of all time. I may be but small, but I will die a colossus.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's a good
one. That's a line right there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What a great way to... It has to do with bigness, too, so it makes sense that you'd love it. That is a good way to end it, my friend.
Yeah.
And so ends the show, right? We may be small, But in the end, how do you say it?
We will die at Colossus.
We will die at Colossus.